Good afternoon, committee members. I'm Chris Nakamoto, a national investigative reporter with Investigate TV. Prior to that, I was at a local TV station here for about 17 years. Thank you for taking the time to listen to all of us about this important bill. As Lee said, this is not something that journalists typically do. We never want to become the story, but we feel like we have to let you guys know what this would do to the state constitution and basically just be devastating to all of us. The language in the bill, part of the process by which governmental decisions are formulated, could easily be interpreted to encompass all government functions. It's intentionally vague, intentionally broad, and I've never seen anything like it before. I foresee it being used to block nearly all public information from ever being released. It's going to overburden the courts, an already overburdened system. I have two examples. In 2016, I was covering a local mayor about 15 miles from Baton Rouge. We had submitted a series of public records requests, and I was arrested because they didn't want to give up those records. It was about a pay raise that he had funded for himself. The records were ultimately released and showed exactly what the mayor did not want us to see. He was convicted over what we exposed and is no longer in office. But if this bill were to become law, it's likely we would never have seen those records. Another example, and I heard some of you guys up here asking about it already, is some of the state police stories that we have exposed. A public records request we submitted pertaining to Ronald Green up in North Louisiana showed top state police leaders were colluding over emails about his death and what caused the crash, whether or not he died from the crash or whether or not he died from the abuse. And they said that in those emails, they had proof to show that he died from the crash. Well, obviously, body camera video painted a very different picture. And when those emails came to light, it showed exactly what was happening. Other records showed Governor John Bel Edwards was also briefed about the death within hours of it happening. It was a complete reversal from what he had told the public prior. If this bill were to become law, it's likely those records would never have been released. The overly broad nature of the language could result in every records request, as I said, ending up in court. This bill does not foster transparent government. It's not transparent to the constituents you represent. And it's not transparent for the investigative reporters responsible for accurately reporting on how government functions. I'll ask this rhetorical question. If this was the prior administration, how would you guys vote on this bill? It would be imprudent to let this pass through committee.
All right. Thanks to each of you for coming.